So Chris Ashton, welcome again to Sportsvibetv, and we find you in a dressing room, kind of at St Albans, the training ground of Saracens. It's the first time we've seen you as a Sarry, and how's it gone so far?
I like it here, I love it here, yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying my time. Could do with a few more tries, but I'm liking it so far. I love every minute of it.
Okay, well, from an England point of view, of course, we did win the Six Nations title, did you not, a couple of years ago? And you've come out of the South Africa tour, and the autumn is looming. Where is the England team, do you think, right now? What place is it in?
I mean, coming out of the tour, it was always going to be tough. People had never, I'd never been to South Africa before, and played against them once and got knocked out, so I didn't really know what to expect. I think it was always going to be tough playing there. But I think we got the experience that we needed to do, and in the end we ended up getting a draw. Maybe should have won that game last test, so took a little bit from it. But I think there's a point where it comes where you have to start winning these games, and you can't just keep saying forever a young team and inexperienced. I think in the autumn now, with these teams coming over and us being at home, we have to start winning some games and actually putting some results on the board and start building some momentum into the World Cup.
Do you find, even though you've only been part of the England scene for 2 years, because of the huge turnover of players after the World Cup, you've actually become almost by default one of the senior players? And how does that feel?
I don't feel like that, and I'm sure a lot of the people wouldn't say it's that way either. Maybe, I'm on, I think, 26. So, yeah, it's just the way it's gone, and with the new coaches coming in, and Stu looking towards the next World Cup, and going to build and put in players in place who are going to be here and around for that tournament. So I think it's a good idea, and I think you should start as early as possible, and kind of after the World Cup just wiping the slate clean and starting again, which I think is a good idea as well.
The Autumn Internationals, you should have happy memories of the Autumn Internationals. Obviously 2 years ago you scored that wonder try against Australia, not just from your own point of view, but where it began underneath your own post and the swift interchange of passes, and then off you went for pretty much a 70 metre sprint. Is that still one of your sort of greatest moments so far as a rugby player? And you know, when the phrase Autumn Internationals is brought up, do you immediately sort of hark back to that with a bit of a glow in your stomach? Yeah,
it's pretty difficult, you know, cause when everything goes so fast, so quickly at the start. People become to expect that, and you become to expect it from yourself, and it's going to happen every game, and it isn't going to be that. It isn't going to be the case, and even though you don't think it, people are going to try and mark you at the game, and things aren't going to go your way, and it's the way you deal with that and keep going, getting through it, and hopefully be able to come out the other side and reproduce it at some point. I mean, all the great players of this game have been able to reproduce it from time and time again, so. Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I don't think that try will be coming around again too soon.
Well, you're a victim of your own success. I guess in one sense you take it as a compliment that opposing sides see you dangerous enough to try and keep you out of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much that. It is pretty hard to do from the game. They expect it, and they try and cover it in defence. But I think it is. I expect a lot of myself as well, and have high expectations of myself. And sometimes I'm disappointed with what's happened, and if I don't score 3 tries, then I don't think I've had a good game. So.
What, really? If you don't score 3 tries, you don't think you've had a good game?
All right, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.
That's better.
2 are more alright, but yeah, there's a point where you have to actually realise it's international rugby, and you're not going to score every week.
Yeah. Now, the Autumn Internationals coming up. Fiji to start off with. That's a banana skin. Everybody think, oh yeah, that's a win. But they're tough physical boys, aren't they? And besides, you've got 3 massive games after that. So I guess you're not just looking for a win. You're looking for a really, really solid, if not ruthless, performance.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the most physical game. I think. I don't think they get as much credit as they deserve. They always seem to do it well in World Cups, and they always seem to do well against the bigger teams. I mean, not too long ago they beat Wales. Big boys, and it's the first game, so they're going to be up for it. I mean, they've already been mentioning it about Cam here, that's here. He's going to be flying around somewhere, so yeah, big lads. But I think you've just got to soak it up for as long as you can and take your chances. I think it'd be a good test to start from, and us to hopefully get a win and get some momentum from it.
Because the following week you've got Australia, of course, and Australia have not been having a great time of it in the championship down in the Southern Hemisphere. But there's no such thing as a bad Wallaby team, is there?
No, they always seem to do well when they need to. I mean, they've still come second in that tournament. I think they'll still be pretty annoyed with some of the games and how they went. They've got quite a few injuries as well. They're probably nearly back for the autumn, so I think they'll be on fire again. But we've done pretty well with them over late, so hopefully we can get over that one as well. Yeah,
I mean, as a guy like yourself who's a bit of a flair player, you don't want them to do well against you, but I guess you probably enjoy watching the Coopers and the Genias of the world, and of course the fullback as well.
And Ione.
They your kind of players, I would have thought.
Yeah, it always makes it a better game of rugby, I think, and you play against teams like that. You want to throw it around and want to play, you don't know what to expect. It always seems to be a better to watch and better to be involved in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Next up would be the Springboks. Now you played them 3 times. You could have won the first test. I was impressed in the way in the second test when that they were in danger of running away from you.
Yeah.
And in England teams in the past, in June, that's happened. But you came back and made it very competitive. And in the third test, you drew and you could have won that. So, you got nothing. Well, you've got something to fear, but there's no reason why you can't take the next step, is there?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it was more. Everything was based on the experience, I think, of experience being in South Africa and playing such an experienced team. Even though they did have a good set of young lads in there, they have got the experience throughout to cover that. I think the places we played and the way we did come back in the first 2 games and nearly won it, but quite didn't. But I thought in the third game we were dominant throughout the game and should have put ourselves in a position to win the game. So. Yeah, I think we take a lot out of it, and them coming over here. Yeah, I think it's just about time we got a win over South Africa.
And then lastly, the All Blacks. Now, every rugby fan loves the All Blacks. Every rugby fan loves the haka. But of course, you guys have, you're not there to enjoy the All Blacks, are you? You're there to give them a game. They seem to be the best team in the world on form, but it's at Twickenham.
Yeah, I mean, last time we started, it was our first game last year, and they pretty just started. Were too fast for us, and we were asleep for 20 minutes and let them get too much of a lead, and we were never going to come back from that really. But we did, to be fair to us, we got back into the game, and but it was already gone away from us too early. I think it was the occasion again a little bit. It was my first game at Twickenham against New Zealand, and I think there was a few others in that position. Yeah, I think just comes a point where New Zealand are coming to England, and when England won the World Cup in 2003, they didn't lose a game. So. Yeah, I think you got to start winning, and I think All Blacks unbeaten for a hell of a long time now.